Hey, Childs.
Yeah.
What do you have to be careful of when it rains cats and dogs?
I don't know.
That you don't step in a poodle! And this is Act 2 literary terms for your viewing pleasure.
Alright, so we're going to start off with tone. The tone of this PowerPoint presentation is hilarious.
It's a little bit laid back, comical.
Okay, so, it's a good example. Tone is how the,
Author thinks about the writing, the attitude toward the writing. So the author's voice is heard through the text with tone, okay? And the definition of tone is the way the author expresses his attitude through his writing. The tone can change very quickly, or it might remain the same throughout the story. So right now it's really lighthearted, but let's just say, all right, let's get down to business. Tone is expressed by an author's sentence structure, by the point of view, by the diction, meaning the words that the author uses, and the level of formality in the writing. Now, all of a sudden, my tone changed to angry. And so, even the way that I'm reading the sentences and pausing is affecting the tone.
mood, on the other hand, was I started off, I felt happy. And now, I don't, because I messed them up almost.
Let's lighten it up. Let's lighten the mood with the
We're
joke.
going to lighten the mood.
Okay. Why should you be careful when playing against a team of big cats?
I don't know. Why?
They might be cheetahs.
Alright, you guys are in store for some great humor this episode. Alright, so mood. In literature, mood is a literary element that evokes certain feelings or vibes in the readers through words and descriptions. So it's how you feel. Usually mood is referred to as the atmosphere of a literary piece, as it creates an emotional situation that surrounds the reader. So Miss Cruz telling a joke lightens the mood, and everybody's like, ah ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I feel a lot better now. Alright, symbols are particular objects. They're things, or people sometimes even, or colors that represent an idea larger than themselves. So right here you've got a four-leaf clover, which represents good luck. You have a yin-yang, which represents a contradiction in everything. Like in everything, there's two parts that are different. Even, let's say it could be representing a marriage, how two people can be so different, yet they can work together to form a whole. And then you have a cross, which could be symbolic of grace or forgiveness. And symbols surround us in life all the time. Like, for example, the color red symbolizes blood or death. White can symbolize purity.
And is blue bravery?
I'm
trying to remember. Our flag is a symbol, and actually all the colors on the flag represent something, and I'm trying to remember what they are.
But speaking of the flag, the American flag represents freedom.
Hooah. Alright. Alright, so next, hyperbole. And then we have another video. But basically, hyperbole is a
extreme
exaggeration. So, the king's nose was 3 feet long. That just means he had a big nose. My dad can lift over 2 tons. Yeah, you can't do that. That's 4,000 pounds. Another one you'll hear when we're, like in The Lion King, Simba's like, I'm so hungry I could eat an entire wildebeest. Okay? A little lion cub could not eat an entire wildebeest. Alright, so those are hyperboles, extreme exaggerations. Alright, Miss Cruz isn't paying attention because I told her this was hers.
I'm paying attention.
This is malaprop.
Ism.
Malapropism.
It's your choice whether or not you use the ism. So it's like the prop with the optional ism. It's a funny misuse of a word. And so some examples here are Texas has a lot of electrical votes instead of electoral. The golfer got a booger on the last hole. Booger is supposed to be bogey, and another booger one is sorry for being such a booger. Okay, so the reason that an author like Shakespeare would use this is to show that a character is unintelligent and also to provide some humor and comic relief for the audience.
So some of you might hear in real life, nip it in the butt. Okay, if somebody isn't used to speaking and they're not well educated.
Or if they just misunderstand what the phrase is.
It should be nip it in the bud.
With a D, not a TT. Bud, not butt.
With the Ebola thing going on, some viruses can lay dormant for years.
It's not a doormat. It's dormant.
So you got to make sure you're using the correct word, or it's a malaprop.
Yeah, and if you use the wrong word, then we're going to look like that crying baby in the corner. All right, dramatic irony is a big one for Romeo and Juliet. You've heard of irony before, I'm sure, but dramatic irony is when the audience knows information the characters in the play, movie, or story do not know. So a really classic example of this is in scary movies, when the audience knows that the character is about to die or be attacked, or they know someone is hiding behind the dark corner, but the character does not know. Yeah, so Jaws is a good example of this movie. That movie creeps me out.
Because she's swimming and she doesn't know that that shark is getting ready to eat her. I don't know if you guys watch a lot of YouTube. There was a guy who caught a shark the other day, and you can see this blob coming up from the depths, and he eats the shark. It's a big, huge fish. I forget what it's called. Grouper. Eats the shark. The shark didn't know it was coming, but everybody else did because they could see him coming. So it's kind of neat and funny. All right. We're going to go ahead and stop here because Act 3 is next after this lovely joke from Miss Cruz.
What did the soda say to the bottle opener?
What?
Hey, can you help me find my pop?
Ah!